Man, it's been a while since we talked about Johnny Somali. There's been little updates here and there, mostly from Legal Mindsets, the ones that I've been seeing, but I haven't really covered them in a while, because really there hasn't been all that much interesting developments. But I figured that Atozy is gonna compile all of them, all of the recent ones, maybe the whole thing. He might go from start to finish, all the way through. I don't know, let's find out.
This IRL streamer is now facing 36 years in Korean prison.
That's a lot of years.
Spending the last 2 years of his life harassing and humiliating random people on the streets of Japan, Israel, and South Korea for his own content. Spending 3 months.
Also, don't forget that he was actually harassing the government and threatened government officials, including the judge that was superseding his case. Superseding, is that the right word? I don't know. Handling it. What, the judge, he threatened him and his wife, his whole family, basically. And also the people of Korea, threatening to give all the women STDs. Crazy.
In jail in Japan, apologizing and saying, hey, he's never gonna do this again, and then goes on to continue like nothing ever happened at all. And we've been covering his antics for a while, and it's already been a couple months since I went out to Korea for his first trial. And it's safe to say things have only got worse.
Bro, I remember when he was trying to beg Ice Poseidon to let him back on Kick, like Ice Poseidon had any power to do that, and even if he did, would want to do that. And then, nothing after that. He just kept doing his stupid shit, crashing out, threatening people, did the Kanye thing, or he was in the black KKK outfit.
Worse for him. All while he spent so much of his time taunting and essentially challenging the Korean court system to do something about it. Because Johnny streamed himself being interviewed after his stunt where he got drunk and danced in his underwear in the early morning of Seoul.
I did it as kind of like a you to these YouTubers and the ones that are commenting on my downfall in Korea and how I'm gonna get, the years keep going up. First they said, oh, it's 5 years, now it's 10.
So he's blaming all of the drama slop YouTubers that have been making videos on him. So that's who his audience was. So why? Why keep doing it? To give us more content? Put food in our mouths instead of yours? Like, come on. The fuck are you doing?
10 years, now he's gonna get 20 years, now he's gonna get 30 years. So I was like, I'm gonna show you guys how far I can push the boundaries, and I'm gonna show you that the Korean government is not gonna do anything to me because I'm an American citizen.
Bro, that's exactly what I said that he thought. And he never actually said it, but now he's saying it. Okay. I guess I was right. I guess we were right. That he literally thinks they won't do anything because Daddy Trump is going to help him. Well, let me tell you, that's not going to be the case. And it usually never is. Need I remind you, anybody who has never heard of Lamb of God, Randy Blythe, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, had some troubles in the Czech Republic. And nobody helped him. And he definitely didn't do the thing that he was getting in trouble for. Nobody helped him. Also, Brittany Griner, she did some time in Russia. Like, nobody's coming to save you. If they wouldn't come and save Brittany Griner, I think they ended up saving Brittany Griner, but it took a while. I don't think anybody's coming to save you, bro.
And B, I don't do anything seriously violent or crime. The Korean legal system is not as strong as people think and perceive it to be.
I don't know.
Yeah, but whenever it becomes a national and international case, like, everybody knows about this. All around the world, people know about this. Like, you're fucked, bro. Everybody's seeing it. Everybody's got a microscope on it. Especially social media. You know, the thing that actually controls the world now? Everything is controlled by social media and what people have to say on social media. All the world leaders are on social media. Like, come on. They see what's going on.
If that's like a smart thing to say while you're on trial. Obviously, we've taken a little break from covering Johnny, but now so much has happened that I feel like we kind of need to update the situation. Because now you have charges that are essentially just dropping monthly to his only friend now threatening another channel that's also been covering Johnny's fault. I mean, this whole story just keeps on derailing like an extremely slow train wreck, which started as him trying to go viral, which turned into real crimes. He's harassed people on buses, blasted offensive messages, disrespectful cultural symbols, and, you know, just kept pushing things further and further.
Yeah, and let me tell you, if South Korea doesn't do anything about this, we're gonna make fun of South Korea so hard. They're gonna look so weak. I don't think they're gonna do nothing. I think they're gonna do something about this.
No matter how many times he got in trouble,
They
he
already
threatened
are.
judges. He made deepfake videos of other Korean streamers, then
Which is
announced that he
illegal
was going to go to court
in Korea.
in a black version of a certain robe that involves a clan. And I'm not
Yep.
talking about Call of Duty trick shot clans either. I feel like so much of the stuff he does leaves me with the reaction of, why are you wasting your life doing this? What a fascinating use of free will. But obviously,
Yeah, he's retarded and he's not able to think. He just knows that people online are talking about him, and he thinks that America is going to save him from South Korea, which is absolutely fucking retarded. He thinks that he's such a big celebrity that America has to help him? Bro, we're telling South Korea to keep you. Come on, get with the program.
he didn't fall through with this. All that did was just show the internet that Johnny is a little bit more scared of these consequences than what he's letting on. Even though he doesn't fall through with being a moron, that doesn't mean he's not a moron. Because now it seems like he's looking at 10 additional years of additional max sentence time on top of the previous 26 years of max sentence time that he was facing earlier. At the end of the day,
I thought he was facing 36 and added a 10 to make it 46. That's the video that I saw that I reacted to. Those are the numbers that I came up with when I was watching Legal Mindset.
Johnny's story is a perfect example of someone who let chasing clout completely ruin their lives and dragged others like Hank down with him. And Hank, clearly not the sharpest tool in the shed, is now threatening another creator by the name of 15 Minutes of Shame, who's been very on top of covering this whole story. Here's a clip of Legal Mindset showing those messages.
But you see this individual, Adrius, is talking to Hank, sends over a video of 15 Minutes of Shame and says, why is this guy keep pulling this up in his video? So he's talking about, a video where Hank is mentioned. Hank the Tank says, 15 Minutes of Shame is absolutely obsessed with me. And the guy responds, yeah, saw that. He says, LMAO needs to be, and I'm just going to use the word deleted because I want to keep it YouTube friendly.
So for those of you guys who don't know, that comment is coming from Johnny Somali's so-called bodyguard or legal advisor or translator. He's playing a lot of roles here, but this is Hank. And what Hank said there isn't just
Yeah, they're role-playing. They're role-playing through all of this. They don't think it's real. They don't think that anything's gonna happen because it's all a game. Because they're like actually massive retards. I kind of feel sorry for them because they really should. They should have handlers. There should be people making sure that these guys are okay and not crashing out and doing stupid shit in society because they don't have the ability to think about what they're doing.
just disturbing, it's completely self-destructive. While South Korean law probably isn't going to prosecute Hank for the international threat against someone who's most likely based in the US, the fallout could be harsh in other ways. Hank has already lost his gym membership after the gym found out about his association with Johnny. And that's crazy because Hank needs to stay in there. But honestly, I don't even know if that's a real punishment in Hank's head. But clearly,
Fucking got him. You fucking got him. Damn. Throwing shade.
any online behavior like this could easily lead to further consequences. His desperation is clearly showing, as with every threat, he digs his hole deeper. And I feel like part of him actually knows this because he recently also deleted all of his social media, which includes all content on his YouTube channel. And this channel used to be Johnny's only main outlet left to live stream on, and now it's been wiped. And for those of you guys who don't know, for months, Hank was Johnny's enabler, providing him with housing, a
Enabler.
phone, streaming equipment, booze, and money to keep this nuisance train rolling. Because while
Yeah, and like, where was he getting all that? He was getting it from his family. His family was sending him money, and they were very upset about it, that Hank was using all this money to keep up with Johnny Somali.
Johnny's funds dried up, Hank kept the operation alive, becoming his sole support system. But now, the weight of that decision is really crashing down on him. This isn't just about embarrassment or damage anymore. Hank's closeness to Johnny's latest legal trouble has placed him in the crossfire. If you remember from my last video, I said charges are essentially dropping monthly on Johnny, and that's still true, because there's now a new crime that Johnny's being investigated for in South Korea, and that is the child harassment under the Korean Child Welfare Act.
That's
Specifically,
not good.
authorities reopened investigations into interactions where Johnny and Hank allegedly engaged in inappropriate conversations with minors on sites like Ome TV.
Okay, so they're actually getting charged with this now. Last time I reacted to this whole situation, they weren't getting charged with that. They were getting charged with something else, and they were just like, we were talking about this thing happening. All right, Well,
There's reported evidence that both Johnny and Hank knowingly spoke with individuals they identified as minors during these streams, and the conversations were reportedly of an inappropriate nature. This is serious because under South Korean law, this charge carries a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison.
Here is the submission right here against Ramzi Khalid Ismail. You see his name here, Ramji Khalid Ismail, right, in Korean. You can see over here, once again, another one of the cover sheets showing his date of birth, as well as the location in Seoul. And you see both of these documents here together, confirming they were submitted.
Now, before we go any further, let's clear up something that always pops up in the comments. People say, isn't Johnny already in jail? What's the big deal here? Jail is short term. It's where you go before trial or if you've done something small. Think a few weeks, maybe up to a couple of years. That's about it. And that is if it even goes over a year, because normally if it does, it would be because, you know, the time waiting for the trial and then, you know, after the sentencing. But prison is where you end up after conviction. That's long term. That's the real deal. In South Korea, they don't like to hold people in jail pre-trial unless you're dangerous or violent. And he's not.
yeah, because it costs them money. Why would they want to spend money on somebody to keep them in jail when they don't have to, when it's somebody that they don't think is a flight risk that's going to actually hurt anybody?
Not a violent offender. He's just an obnoxious clown with a camera and a bad attitude. So essentially they just let him roam, rack up more charges, and give the South Korean government all the more evidence they could ever need. Because meanwhile, he's burning through his money, isolating himself, and making their job extremely easy.
Yeah, and they're making examples out of these streamers because they want it to stop. People on the streets want it to stop. They hate it. It's changing their culture because they have their culture, and you come in there, start crashing out, screaming, you're causing chaos that they didn't have before. It's one thing if it was already chaotic, but it wasn't. They had the way that they did things, and you were coming and messing it up.
Just because Johnny hasn't been sitting in a cell this whole time doesn't mean the police are clueless over there. It is definitely not because the courts are soft, it's because South Korea's legal system is playing the long game. Locking him up pre-trial, that costs taxpayer money. They'd rather let Johnny just pay for his own ramen, his own water, his own booze, and his own miserable existence. Or well, honestly, at this point, it's probably Hank that's paying for all that. And this is all while they build a rock-solid case against him. So they're letting him self-destruct on his own dime, and honestly, it's working like a charm.
I have sacrificed my finances, you know, like I've actually, like Johnny ran out of money.
Hank is done. He's broke. The money's dried up. He's been begging for cash online, complaining about being kicked out of his gym.
Oh, it's so sad. So sad to see. Everyone's oppressing them. They're oppressed. They're so poor, they're impoverished, and everybody's just being so mean to them.
And cut off by businesses and rejected by companies who don't want to be anywhere near this disaster.
Oh no, everyone's against them. Oh no. The anti-heroes of the internet.
And now he's scared that fallout is going to hit him, scared that supporting Johnny has destroyed whatever reputation and stability he had left, all while prosecutors keep stacking charges. And Johnny, instead of, you know, laying low, he's doubling down. He's made more deepfakes. He's threatened judges. He showed up late and drunk to court. I don't know how stupid you could possibly be, but this guy just keeps impressing me.
He is definitely going to become a legend. He's going to be a legend of the internet, of what not to do. He's going to be a really good example. And I think South Korea is really going to make an example out of him.
Tried to write a fictional character that self-destructed more than Johnny, that would actually be a challenge. And also, just to add on the self-destructive behavior, it's been confirmed that Johnny has been using fake accounts and posing as multiple people on different platforms, like Discord, to discredit creators who are covering him.
He's doing all of the insane things. He's checking all of the insane social media brained nonsense boxes. He's checking them all.
Truly included.
Johnny has fake accounts as multiple people. Obviously, there's fake profiles of me. There's fake profiles of Atozy, other people. Now, some of you have seen this and some of you have not seen this. But remember, what's important is that we have confirmed that every single thing has been received by the Seoul prosecutor's office.
And I guess these accounts are basically just trying to derail ongoing investigations by clouding the digital trail. But clearly, it's not working. Legal Mindset confirmed that every single piece of footage has now been officially submitted and accepted by Seoul's prosecutor's office as evidence, including older clips from the US.
Bro, we're going to get a conclusion very, very soon. I'm guessing August is going to be where all of this is going to wrap up. Because I'm feeling like we're getting pretty close to the end. It's been so long. It's been years at this point that we've been talking about Johnny Somali.
And at this point, prosecutors in South Korea are moving forward. The case is at a step 2 in their process. The investigation is underway, evidence has been collected, and they're now determining if it's strong enough to hold up in court. That doesn't just include Johnny's offenses in South Korea.
What do you think? Do you think it's strong enough to hold up in court? Do you think so? I think it is. But if it doesn't, then South Korea is a big baby state. It's a baby state, you know? It can't really do anything, at least to Americans. They'll really show how embarrassing they are, how weak they are.
It also pulled from his documented behavior across the US and Europe. Meanwhile, more disturbing footage has resurfaced, including remarks made by both Johnny and Hank towards people in France, Mexico, and Korea. And in another major legal escalation, a victim has now filed a formal petition for severe punishment against Johnny, which could lead to an aggravated sentencing range if the court accepts it. Because according to Korean law, these petitions have to show a clear harm to the victim, attempts at reconciliation that didn't work, and a lack of remorse.
Dude, there's so many charges stacked against him that there's no way that all of them are going to be dropped. He's getting something. And it's probably not going to be a slap on the wrist.
Well, that's not hard to prove.
And even to this day, he is still insulting South Korean people. No statue is safe. So he clearly doesn't care and has no remorse.
Yeah, it's safe to say Johnny's own behavior continues to work against him. He, again, is his own star witness against himself. He is his own worst enemy. And if this petition goes through, Johnny could be looking at a minimum of 2 years for obstruction and up to 7 years for the deepfake charges. And of course, it doesn't stop there. There's been 4 previously unseen videos dropping showing him harassing workers and tourists at Seoul's North Tower. And these were filmed before he went viral for getting punched. And they show him blasting music, shouting about having HIV, and filming without permission. Then finally accusing tourists of racism when asked to leave.
Oh, new footage, eh? New footage, things that we haven't seen.
I want to take a cable car down.
Hey, I remember that hair.
What is what? It's a phone. What? Why not? I see many people do YouTube here. I can't do YouTube here. Many people do YouTube here. It's in my face. Relax. Relax, bitch.
Honestly, it's just crazy how he allows someone to donate $2 to have a chance of ruining his life. It's actually impressive how self-destructive he is. But
dude, like, fucking insane, bro. Like, it's one thing if you're harassing people on the streets that are just, you know, wandering about living their lives. It's another when they're at work at a facility like this that they're really not wanting to deal with your bullshit.
But he deserves everything coming his way because this is what he does for content.
Why are you shaking your hand? You racist? You don't like black people?
No, I don't want to be.
What country are you from?
You don't need to care.
You better back up. What's up?
Oh.
You want to touch me?
Oh.
You want to touch me? You want to go?
Oh.
You're going to get you better watch your Euro ass up. You better watch out, Euro.
Oh.
You better watch out. I'm from America. You better watch out.
I mean, the dude is just a pathetic excuse of a human being. Thankfully,
Bro, like, this whole I'm from America attitude, man, yeah, that really came back to bite him.
the dude he was harassing is winning in the end because Johnny is currently being wombo-comboed by the Korean system.
Damn, I swear to God, Europeans, they hate Americans, bro. Oh, it's French. Oh.
I don't think they hate Americans. I think they hate you. Because you look like a fucking insane person, and you're also acting like a fucking insane person. And I'm American too. If I would have seen Johnny Somali out on the streets doing this shit in Korea, I would have took the charge and knocked his ass out. Because that would have been something America would have saved me. Because that's some bullshit. That is some major bullshit.
Oh, now it makes sense. Nobody likes French people, bro. I don't like them either.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sad at this point. And these could easily add to his obstruction charges or lead to a 9th charge under South Korea's child welfare or public disturbance laws. And on top of that, Johnny's platforms are disappearing left and right. I mentioned that he was banned on Kick in my last video, but it now seems like YouTube is removing his streams as well.
But there is one live stream that's missing, and that is the live stream where he just came back from court and he decided to go live with Hank. They reviewed the court video, they gave a couple updates, even though he lied about quite a bit. Anytime Hank is in a video, there will be hate speech. So that was the video that was taken down. Now you might ask yourself, how do I know that that it was taken down for hate speech. If you go on his channel, it says the video has been removed for violating YouTube's policy on hate speech.
Money is flying out the window faster and faster here, and it looks like 10 years could get thrown at Johnny and even Hank here if the authorities find what they're looking for. And I mean, let's be real, we know there's enough of a digital footprint online to give them the stuff to find. It's pretty much inevitable at this point that he's going to do some time. Like, this is not ending with some slap on the wrist. And every time he opens his mouth, every time he makes another deepfake or threatens a judge or shows up to court late or drunk or however he decides to.
You think this is going to be the last time we see Johnny Somali crash out? You think he's going to crash out before he gets actually, sentenced or whatever they're going to give him? Because I don't think it's over. I think he's going to do some more stupid shit because he keeps doing more stupid shit. Atozy even missed some stuff in this video.
Show up, he's really not helping himself at all. So just as a recap, because I know there's going to be so many charges at this point that it's hard to keep track of.
Yep.
Johnny is charged with obstruction of business. That's count 1. He pled guilty to that. You have a violation of Minor Crimes Act, which is essentially a misdemeanor. He pled guilty to that. And then you have another violation of Minor Crimes Act, which he pled guilty to that as well. You have an
so he's definitely getting some
charge,
stuff,
which he pled guilty to as well. And then you have a deepfake violation. He pled not guilty to that. Then you have another deepfake.
Yeah, I don't think the deepfake violations, they're going to go away because I'm pretty sure he is 100% guilty of those.
Violation, which he also pled not guilty. Then you have another obstruction of business charge, which he also pled not guilty to for some reason. And now we have the
probably because it's a really, really big charge.
Violation of the Child Welfare Act, as that investigation is currently in progress. So here we are. Things are not looking good for him. And
yeah, that's probably going to be another charge they're going to tack on. I don't see how that's not a charge.
And Hank is a cautionary tale. He backed the wrong guy. Now he's broke, scared, and trying to figure out where to climb out of this wreckage because this is just an absolute nightmare for this guy. And this is all while Johnny has another trial date coming up in August. So, hey, if you guys want me to go out to South Korea again, drop a like on this video. If we get to the ballpark of like 75,000 likes on this video, I'll fly out again. And also, I haven't mentioned this in a while, but we've dropped a bunch of new collections over at matt.city, including Soul. So if you ever wanted a nostalgic toy car mat or mouse mat that's like
he's almost there,
covers your whole desk.
Yeah, he's almost there on the likes. Go to this video and give him a like so we can see this man go to Korea for the Johnny Somali stuff. That'd be amazing. That'd be so good. Send this guy on vacation.